Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're solving simultaneous equations. Okay, in the first example here we have two equations, so we have simultaneous equations we're solving for x and y. If you were to graph these equations, they might meet at one point, and that would be your solution, and an x and a y value where they meet. Okay, so there's only one x and y that satisfy both equations. That's called the solution of the equation. We're going to use our GDC to solve this. So right now we have it actually in general form, so we have the x's and the y's and the constants. We have it all lined up and ready to go using the Simultaneous on our graphing calculators. So I'm going to use our calculator to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Apps, and we're going to go to Simultaneous, and we go to Simultaneous Equation Solver, the second one. And do we want our answer to be fractions or decimals? Let's do the first one as a decimal since we have decimals in the question, and we'll do the other two as fractions. So let's keep that as a decimal. Of course, we have two equations with two unknowns, so everything is ready there. Let's click Next. We need to type in the coefficients of x, y, and the constant here. So 4, 5, 27.5. So we'll do 4, 5, 27.5, and then 5, 6, 33.5. I'm going to solve, and we have 2.5 and 3.5. So the first one is our x and the second one is our y. So I have 2.5 and 3.5. So the answer is, now it's not really asking for your point here, it's asking you for x and y. So the answer is x equals 2.5, y equals 3.5. Okay, next we're going to do these two. Now this is in the right format. We have the x, the y, the constant lined up. In the first equation we need to move this to the other side. So it becomes negative 2/3 x plus y equals 1. And now we can type that into our GDC. Let's go back to system here, and then we can type in these new numbers. So negative 2/3, use a negative symbol, 2 divided by 3. Negative 2/3, enter. We have 1 is the coefficient of y, and then 1 is the constant. Here we have 3, negative 2, and 8. We click solve, and we get 6 and 5 as our solution. So our answer is x equals 6, y equals 5. Okay, and the last one, neither one of these are in general form, so we're going to change these to general form. We're going to take this x value, move it over here. We'll take this x value, move it over there. We're going to have negative 3x plus y equals 2. Negative 4x plus 2y equals negative 1. That's what we'll type into our GDC. So I'm going to go back to system here. So negative 3, 1, 2, and we're going to have negative 4, 2, and negative 1. So I typed them all in correctly. Click solve, and there I have the decimal answers. If you want fraction, you can go back to mode and change this to fraction to get your answer as a fraction. Okay, so I'll get my answer as a fraction here, and you can write them as a fraction. X equals negative 5 out of 2, and y equals, what was that again? That was 11, negative 11 halves. So negative 11 halves. Okay, if it's a word problem or something, you probably want it in the form of a decimal, depending on the question. I'm going to do a couple word problems now. We have two numbers have a sum of 45 and a difference of 13. So we can actually set up a set of simultaneous equations and solve it. So if they have a sum of 45, you can say x plus y equals 45, and you can say x minus y equals 13. So again, we'll go to our GDC. We'll go to the system here. Now these coefficients are just 1. So we have 1, 1, 45. We have 1. That's a negative 1 right there. And 13. Press enter. Solve. 29 and 16 are the numbers. Okay, so the numbers are 29 and 16. And when you do a question like this, you should say something like use GDC to show clearly what you did. Okay, next question. Amy and Michelle have 29.40 between them, and Amy's money is 3/4 of Michelle's. So we can use variables like a and m, or x and y, doesn't really matter. So they have 29.40 altogether. You can say a plus m equals 29.40. That's one equation. And this statement gives you your other one. Amy's money is 3/4 of Michelle's. So you can literally write Amy's money is 3/4 of means times Michelle's. Okay, so this one's in this first equation is in the correct format. We've got variable, variable, constant. And this one here, we want to move the variable to the other side. So what happens is we're going to have a. This is going to be minus 3/4 m. And here we subtracted 3/4 m from that side, so we have 0. So now we have a m constant. So now we can use our graphing calculator. And I'm going to type in, well, this is 29.40. 1 is already there. 20. Okay, I'll just type in again, I guess. 29.40. And we have 1 again. This is negative 3/4. So negative 3 divided by 4 and 0. And click solve. Now we have the answer as fractions, and in this case we want decimals because we're talking about money. So I'm going to go back to mode. Mode's right there, so I click down here. I'm going to change that to decimal. And then I will click next, solve. There we have. So now the first variable we typed in was A. So Amy's money is Amy's got $12.60. So Amy has $12.60, and Michelle has $16.80. Okay, Michelle has this amount of money. Okay, so again, you should probably say used GDC Holly Schmoltu to solve.